everybody, Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Friday, October the 6th. It's opening day of the Keeneland Fall Meet, and we have an important prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Let's take a look at the field for race number 9, the Grade 1 Darley Alcibiades. $600,000 is the purse. Again, these 2-year-old fillies going 1 mile and a 16th, and we'll figure out, Mike, if some of these horses want distance or not.
Main question, I guess, in that regard, Dan, comes down to the morning line favorite here, Brightwork. She's been really, really good sprinting so far. The question in this race is, will she be as good around 2 turns?
She'll be stretching out around 2 turns, as is the number 5, Vivi's Dream, who scored at a 1-turn mile last time out very impressively in Churchill Downs' Pocahontas. We'll throw up the Timeform US pace projector for this race. Not surprisingly, field of 2-year-olds stretching out, many of them for the first time. We're expecting a fast pace. Emery, the number 8, was a pace-pressing winner of a muddy track sprint at Saratoga. She's got speed. I think Wine on Tap for Todd Pletcher is going to be very forwardly placed.
Yeah, Wine on Tap. We'll see if she's good enough, I guess, Dan. They did go 2 turns with her last time, and she eventually made the lead, but it wasn't a super fast pace. It didn't look like. We'll see. As far as Brightwork goes, they have her up close. I suspect that she will be. The good news for Brightwork is, at least in her sprint races so far, she's been pretty handy. She doesn't need the lead to be effective.
Yeah, that tactical speed should come in very, very handy for her in this race. I expect her to be sitting where Timeform US has her. Remember, it's a short stretch at Keeneland at 1 mile and a 16th. Maybe that will help Brightwork navigate the 2 turns. We'll kick things off with the horse with the fastest Timeform US late pace rating. That's the number 1, Alley's Beach. This one was a debut winner coming from off the pace at Saratoga at 6.5 furlongs. Late running 4th in the spin away last time out. Real surprised that she fell so far out the back door early.
Yeah, I was surprised that she was that far away. Also, I guess she ran okay last time. I mean, she was never really involved in that race, though, behind Brightwork. She did get a piece at the end. I liked her debut. I thought she ran pretty well in that race, but it was sort of more game than anything else. She's got a little pedigree to stretch out, though.
Crazy Cammy, the number 2, acts like a horse that might appreciate this longer distance. The problem is she's still a maiden after 3 starts, 2 at Saratoga sprinting, and then last time out, a pretty good effort on the turf at Kentucky Downs. Stretching out, I think she can work out a decent trip saving ground in maybe the second flight or so, but she's probably going to have to put in a career best.
Yeah, she's going to have to take another step forward here. Maybe she can do it. I'm not really sure what prompted Maker to switch her to turf last time. I guess she ran okay in there, Dan. She's probably better on dirt. She's another one. She's got a little pedigree behind her. I can see her stretching out effectively, but she's in pretty tough here. She's got to improve.
I'm guessing it was the $250,000 purse in that maiden race that attracted Maker. We all know that Maker stretches horses out and does very, very well with them. Candide is the number 3. This is a Todd Pletcher production, who scored first time out going 3/4 of a mile and did so in very likable fashion because, hey, Mike, she had to take the long way around.
Yeah, she didn't really seem totally clued in this race either, Dan. Didn't get out of the gate that well, was sort of on the outside, off the pace most of the way. You saw how wide she had to swing to the stretch there. Like the finish she puts in here, though. She's going to close down this loose leader at the end, and she's going to close that horse down pretty easily, I thought, too. Good performance here. I think she can stretch out effectively. This horse is dangerous.
And she didn't change leads in that race. I think she's still learning, as you mentioned. And if she does put things together in her second start, she can easily win this. That was a 76 buyer debut for Candide, a daughter of one of your favorite stallions, Candy Ride. Wine on Tap was a debut winner going 5/8 of a mile at Belmont. 4th in the Schuylerville 2 starts back. A race won by a big long shot. Becky's Joker was a first-time starter. They had hoped dropping her into the sorority here would yield dividends. Wine on Tap, though, had to work a little bit in the early part of this race, Mike, and maybe she just didn't see out the mile.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, maybe the trip did her in just a little bit. Then she did get caught wide into the first turn as she tried to make the lead. She eventually took over on the backstretch, but she just can't fight this challenger off here in the stretch. And it's a really slow race. I mean, there's not really that much good, I don't think, to take away from this performance. She was okay winning on debut. She was terrible in a bad running in the Schuylerville, and I just didn't think she had enough of an excuse last time.
Vivi's Dream was an open lengths winner of her career debut, then made Brightwork work a little bit in her second lifetime start. That was the debutante at Ellis Park, going 3/4 of a mile. Last time out at the Pocahontas, what a breakthrough performance for Vivi's Dream. She's not the quickest from the gate, but she's agile enough to find position. She worked out a really good trip, tracking the pace setters on the turn, but once set down for the drive, she dominated that group in the stretch.
Yeah, way too good for that field last time, and she got a good trip overall. Just always looked like she was going to win, and then once she was ready in the stretch, she just dominated that field. Really impressive. I remember really liking her career debut going short. Dan, there's a lot of talent here. Obviously, the stretch out. Listen, it's as much of a question for her, I guess, as it is for everybody else. But so far, there's nothing to knock about her.
A horse that might benefit from an expected quick pace up front's the 6, Alpine Princess, going out for trainer Brad Cox. I like the incremental stretch out in distance. Made her debut at 6. Much improved second time out, going 7/8 of a mile at Saratoga. Alpine Princess again didn't show a lot of speed in this race. Came on the outside and really grinded it down. I liked how she wanted to win this race, Mike. She improved her Beyer 20 points off this race, and again might get the right setup third time out.
Yeah, nice step in the right direction in this victory here. Kind of similar to the replay that we saw from the Pletcher filly up at Saratoga. Had to come wide off the turn there, but just stays on down the outside, gets the job done. Really nice step forward there because she was super green in her debut.
Bright Work comes into this race the best 2-year-old filly on the East Coast after her first 4 starts. All victories, 3 stakes, 2 graded, this win in the spin away. Listen, Ways and Means, the horse on the outside for Chad Brown, came into this race with a big reputation off an impressive maiden win. Ways and Means, unfortunately, sidelined right now, but she loomed boldly and Bright Work turned her back.
Yeah, I mean, just really nothing to knock about this performance from Brightwork. Listen, Ways and Means is really talented. She had a little trouble early in this race as well, but she had every chance to get by Brightwork here from the top of the stretch, and she's not doing it. Brightwork is not going to let her get by. I like the way that she travels in her races, Dan. She's really handy. She waits for her rider to tell her to go, and then she goes, and that could really help her stretch it out. She's super talented.
Emery is the number 8, impressive debut winner for Brad Cox up at Saratoga, going 6 furlongs. She showed some speed in this race. She got right up close to the pace, but once they turn into the stretch, you see they're all bunched up. They're not going to be bunched up for long because Emery's going to stretch it out in the final 3/16.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good this field actually is, but I won't knock what Emery did in the race, Dan. As you mentioned, they sort of had a rider from the gate, but she got up close to the pace. She's going to take over here past mid-stretch. And now it's all over here. There's not a ton of running going on behind her, but I still thought she looked good winning, and she's another one. She's got plenty of pedigree.
Completing the field is the number 9, Shimmering Allure. This one has 4 starts and graduated last time out going the 1-turn mile at Churchill Downs. Now, that was one of those maiden auction restricted stakes races, so it's a pretty big step up in class, but it's worth noting with each and every start, she has improved her figure. Tough outside post position.
Really like the way she's progressing. The second for McPeak in this race, and he has the 2 horses that have already won going a mile. They're 1-turn races, but they've won going a little bit longer, and that's an advantage for both of them. She looked good winning last time. She's got to do better than that against this field.
Before we take a look at our top selections, please click that subscribe button for the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. You'll get the latest DRF videos. Top pick time for the Alcibiades. Important prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile fillies. We'll see if the Matoli filly, he was a sprinter, Vivi's Dream, can stretch out around 2 turns. Really liked what I saw last time.
I like all of her races, Dan. I just think she's talented and maybe in the right spot here. It's not going to be easy for her to beat Bright Work, however, if that one can stretch out. We'll see. I couldn't really get to any of the others, Dan. Pletcher and Cox feel like they have the 2, interesting second-time starters. I'm not way against those horses, but I'm going to stick with the favorites.
We saw this race the same way. 5, 7, 3, 8. We'll see what Vivi's Dream. We'll see what Bright Work does in the Darley Alcibiades on Friday. It's opening day at beautiful Keeneland. Good luck.